Go live button. All right, we live now. We live. Quick
All
as that.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What it do? What it do?
And we
What's
live
up?
on
Welcome.
IG too. Yep,
It's
yep.
cracking.
Man, you
How we
already know
do?
what it is, and you know what time it be. Yes.
Mm-hmm. What's
Welcome
up?
to another episode of episode 89.
89.
Speaking news, where we are giving you news
That
That
you can
you
use.
use.
that you
Yeah.
can use. Yeah, man. Welcome everybody to the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm your friendly host Corey G, and we got Bobby with an I because Y is for a guy, and we got
What's
OG
up?
Millennial crashing through your timeline. So check it. How are you guys doing this lovely day, guys?
Pretty good.
Pretty
I am
good.
doing wonderful, man. Very good, man. I tried
Okay,
something new this week. I tried vegan food for the first time this weekend.
I
It
saw
was
that on ID.
it was different. It's a little
What?
different.
Okay.
Good for you trying something new. It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
I wouldn't go on my own, right? But if someone were to be like, "Hey, let's go get vegan food," I'd be like, all right. I think I kind of know what to get now."
All
Right.
right. So what is vegan food?
I don't know.
Everything is plant based, soy based.
It's not real. I don't know. It's fake food.
No, it's not
That's
fake
all I
food.
can tell you.
I've had
I have
I
no
have
idea.
my brother was a vegan for like he was a strict vegan for like 9 years,
Yeah.
and some of my coworkers when I worked over in the corporate house at T-Mobile, they were vegan, and we went to some spots. A lot of things are made with bean.
Mhm.
They have bean burgers, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
um,
They had tacos. The taco was made out of like a jackfruit, I guess is what they
jackfruit,
called it.
yeah,
Yeah.
lion's mane. The texture is a little off, but if the flavor is seasoned right, you wouldn't even tell. It tastes just like a
Yeah. Some of the flavors helped it like mask the fact that I wasn't eating real protein. But like
You know, you was
uh,
getting protein, but you were getting plant protein.
yeah, exactly, right?
That's
Like technically
that's
it's the
that's good.
most
That's good for you. I'll stick to the meat over here.
yeah, good call, man. Yep.
You'd be surprised though how many people in the how many celebrities out there that actually turned to meat and then extended their living, turned away from meat and turned on to like um vegetarian, plant based, dairy free, egg free. A lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And
I love it.
it's all good for them. Me personally, I've done it. I went pescatarian as far as I can go. Right. Um, I did pescatarian for about 3 years, and I can tell you right now, I think I'm gonna go back because I didn't have heartburn. I
Mm.
didn't have any, I wasn't on the toilet long like I am now. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It just
such a
go right through you. It just go right through you.
All right. Let's go. Yeah.
Yep.
I stick to like beef and like really lean chicken and stuff
Mhm.
because ever since I mean y'all know I've talked about my pigs and stuff, so I really limit my pork intake. I really limit my
Got
pork
you.
intake. So I stopped buying pork chops. I stopped doing pork loins and stuff.
Mhm.
So
Look, I
Do
ain't
I
more in-home cooking. That's
yeah.
the healthiest way, right? Cook your food. Bobby, I know you're cooking for the food every night.
I do. I do. I cook. I do quick dinners on Mondays,
Hmm.
and so we've got. I did something quick tonight for the kids. I did some chili cheese hot dogs with some fries. Kept it real simple.
Nice.
I actually just ate 3 of the hot dogs with meat and cheese, no buns.
Oh,
Okay.
yep.
I
See?
cut up the wieners real quick, and it's low carb.
Yeah.
Avoid those carbs. Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
so I got
funny
Gluten, empty
I say
still
that.
gluten.
got the taste, just didn't have the bread, and honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
But carbohydrates is not bad for you. It's just that I've learned on this journey,
Moderation.
not just moderation, but it's also the best time to eat carbs is after a high intensity workout because carbohydrates helps balance that energy, and
Yeah,
then if you take
that's
protein,
true.
the protein actually goes into your body the right way. When I started doing that, that's when I started seeing more significant weight loss instead of just the 1 and 2 pounds. It was like the 4 and 5.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful because then you can get lazy and just eat that bread. And be like,
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes I'm on an all carb diet, like all I'm eating is bread.
I said, this honey bun is carbs.
Now I like a
Right.
good French roll, man. You give me a good French roll, I'll eat that whole French roll, man. Like,
I walk a lot at work.
Okay.
And so I walk a lot. I do my biggest meals in the middle of the day, and then I'll do a smaller meal before 6:30.
Yeah.
During the week and whatnot. But
I
man, you
think-
know what? We've kind of changed up how we do things here on Technically Speaking. And today I was looking at what is today in history. What happened March 9th, right? So if you don't know, rest in peace to Mr. Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie Smalls, aka Notorious B.I.G.
Yes.
Is it
I
birthday
remember
or did he pass away? Which one?
the
No,
day
he passed away March 9th, 1997.
I'll never forget the day. It was a Sunday when I got the news. And he died out here, Cali.
In Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. He died after a Soul Train music award party, the after party. He was leaving there, and based off of the stories and everything, he got shot. And I was me and my brother was on our way leaving McDonald's, and we was listening to, it was called The Beat out here, 92.3 The Beat, and they were like, breaking news, Biggie Smalls just passed away. And I was like, wait, what? Because I was just 6 months ago, not even six, maybe, I don't want to say 6, 7, but yeah, it's about 6, 7 months prior to Tupac died. And those two were in an adamant beef. Yeah, crazy.
They're connected. Just saying they're connected.
I saw the movie and the documentary on Biggie Smalls. They interviewed his mom and everything because the case is still in court, right? Like, then they can't go out because the mom wants to go after the police department because they believe that it was police department ties, and they're not allowed to bring up any cases against the police department because the case itself is still an open case. So they can't have any charges brought against the police department because technically the case is still open, and so they can't investigate it. So it's a crazy, interesting story with Biggie Smalls, and I would encourage everybody to go to. I think it was Netflix. It's probably still there. They got the Biggie Smalls documentary, and it explains like the some of those police officers were gangbangers, and the way they built it up was retaliation, exactly like you said, Corey, because of Tupac, but there was interesting information with the walkie-talkie. They found a walkie-talkie. There was a car that matched the description that ended up being like a police LAPD officer's car and shit, and it was very, very interesting.
Yeah, and you said something key, man. You said something key. You're like, it was on net. It's like on Netflix, and Netflix is known for some things, right? You know what I'm saying? Didn't want to not, give you that space for you was talking about, but Netflix reveals a lot of things, right? But
good or bad? What are we talking?
This right here, I think Netflix really, really dropped the ball, and those who are playing into them. Netflix has brought on podcasts. Now, look, we are a podcast, right? But imagine having a podcast that has 2-3 million subscribers on your YouTube channel, right? And then Netflix approaches like, hey, we want to give the host 100 million each for you guys to bring your show over here. The only problem with that is the audience have to pay to watch you guys podcast. Right? How do y'all feel about that? Like, I like, and i.e. the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club was on YouTube and it was our iHeartRadio platform. When they moved to Netflix, I believe it's still partnered with iHeartRadio. However, you can't look at the comments. Like when we would watch our shows and our shows back, I would look at our comments and see like what's going on there. And I'm sure the host of the other shows would do the same, because that's how you could tell, like, am I hitting the mark or am I just puffing up smoke, right?
Yeah.
Now there's no comment section on Netflix. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's none. So do you feel like are the art like not the artists, but the podcasts that's on Netflix are kind of like doing it for the money and forgetting about the people, or something they didn't even think about entirely.
Oh, good question. Man, what a question. I think it
What's your
depends on what they're at and what level they're at, right? Like,
right?
if it were like a small podcast like us getting picked up by Netflix and having an opportunity to get some claim to fame, absolutely, I think it's great. But if they were a big name, like you were mentioning with like the Breakfast Club or something like that, I
Yeah,
would say that it would, in my personal opinion, I would think that it would have to come down to the contracts, right? Like, if Netflix wants me to sign a contract with them that says that I could only work with Netflix and I have to cut all ties to my YouTube content or whatever my creative content is going, I would have to really have probably some lawyers too look into the real numbers on how much money I would make long term to
right.
sacrifice those other money outlets. But and I don't know how Netflix is running their system, but if they're able to cut a deal to where people can still make percentages from their YouTube accounts or their Twitch accounts or wherever they're podcasting from, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and shit, then yeah, that's just money on top of money. And if Netflix is willing to reach out, and add to your bank account, why not let them add to your bank account?
Right. What's your take on it, Bobby?
So I get the idea, right? I think Netflix is trying to kind of dip their toes into different parts of the entertainment platform, which is why they had um, some major fighting events, being streamed through them. They've had large, comedy specials come in. When first you used to see them on Comedy Central, and they were tailored to that only. Now Netflix is picking them up, so I think it's trying to dabble into different areas of entertainment, which is
Hmm.
perfectly fine. They're able to do that. They're getting to be one of those conglomerate types of companies, but it is what it is. Now, when it comes to the podcasting, I think kind of like what what Donald was mentioning about, like, your other stipulations, your other financial stipulations. I'm trying to figure out what are the pros and cons of getting into a contract with Netflix. Are they going to be like, hey, we'll give you this much money, but you can't talk about this or this or this? Are you going to control what I can say on your platform?
I don't think
Because then if
Netflix would.
so, you don't
Hmm.
think Netflix would? You
Nah,
know what
because
I
out of
mean?
all the streaming services, they seem to be the most unfiltered. But I do see exactly what you're saying. With someone else controlling what your content is, yeah, absolutely, you're right.
Right. And that kind of puts me into the
That could be
mind of,
risky.
yeah, it kind of put me in the mind of the 360 deal of the music industry, right?
Mhm.
So when you did the music industry, what they would do is they'll give the artists a gang of money up front, right? But essentially, you have to do what they said. You can't do what you want to do. You have to do the content that they want you to do. They got to run the music behind, like they have to run the music and songs behind the label to say, okay, this is what we'll approve, right? And then here's the thing: the labels who are funding, or the content or the big business that are funding you, don't give you any freedom, but they also don't know your audience. They don't know about Joe Schmo who tunes in every other Tuesday, even though your show broadcasts on Monday, and tune in and watch your show 4 times out the week, right? They don't know about that. They only going by raw numbers that they can calculate, or who's here and who's not, right? And then the spinning back on a 360 deal, right? They determine where you're going to perform by the numbers of the cities that's playing your music based off of the outlets they provide.
Mm.
So if they say, for instance, Netflix and, God forbid, Breakfast Club have a falling out, right? Then Netflix could say, you know what? We're not gonna put you at the 1 through 10 spots, like as far as podcasts. You're gonna be 50. Now your people gotta search for you. Now, granted, every creator has their own podcast. I mean, has their own Instagram, Facebook, whatever their social media platforms. But it looked like if somebody's gonna give you $1 billion, $1 million bag, they're gonna want some type of control of that too, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
I
they
think
have.
you're
Mhm. Go ahead.
sorry, I was gonna say I think your creativity may be limited because of that controlling aspect.
or your
my-
freedom.
Yeah. Or if you're not profitable, how quickly can they cut ties to you and just say like, "Oh, you're done." You know, you
Yeah.
you didn't generate the amount of income we were expecting you to generate. You know, goodbye.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I was just wondering, because of the fact that we're in this space, right? And let's say Netflix were to say, "Hey, Corey, Bobby, Don, Gmo, we want to give you guys $1 million each for technically speaking news that you
Nah, I
guys."
need more money, man. This is a multi-million-dollar idea we have here, man. I'm not settling for 4 million. Psh, not in 2026, man. You need to up that to 40 million. You give me 10 million, I'll sign a 3-year deal with Netflix right now.
Right.
And 10 million is not even a lot in 2026 either, man. You know, like, be
True.
real.
Well, then I need to go no further, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I don't know because I've never had $1 million deal, but I know what $1 million can do if I work the $1 million. You feel what I'm saying? Depending
Yeah.
on that certain, like the certain freedoms that I have. What about you, Bobby?
I always think about having that type of money, but then I think to myself too, like, I think it's risky
Right.
having that type
Why
of
risky?
money. Because once people know who you are and they know what you got in your pockets, I feel like you're more of a target. There's a liability now.
That's true.
Yeah, but you got money to hire security. You got money to hire lawyers.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I want some peace.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that type of money don't give you peace. Matter of fact, that type
For
of
some
money gets
people,
your
it
butt up on
does.
that Epstein list with your butt being blackmailed for the rest of your life. So I don't
Uh,
even want to hear it.
Not every. That's
Ain't
not every
nobody on that.
situation.
Listen. Ain't nobody on that dang Epstein list going making $50,000 a year. I can tell you that.
Nah. I don't believe having a lot of money will take away your peace. I believe that
No.
it can give you opportunities for you to have more peace. But definitely if somebody gives it to you, it's different from you earning it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if somebody like Don said, he made a good point. You know what I'm saying? I'll sign 3 years for 10 million. You know what I'm
A
saying?
year. That's per year, by the way, just to put in that. So that's 30 million over 3
30 million
years.
over 30. Got it.
But you know, and whatever number they tell me I have to hit, I'll do everything I can to make sure I hit that number because they're going to give me a number and say, "Hey, you have to do this.
Right.
You know, you have to do this minimum,
Yeah.
and you have to do it."
Every
You know.
comes with a quota.
Well,
We
with
don't
10
Yeah.
million,
we know that.
you got the money for marketing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, sure.
sometimes that's just it can be the downfall of a business. You've got a fantastic product and no way to market it.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Sometimes, yeah, man, it's a good deal
yeah,
if you get the.
but
Mhm.
you know that's why I'm like it's very funny how that can play into what's going on because I don't know if you noticed. I did research and there's over 1 million podcasts out there that are under the subscription account for them to be part of the YouTube podcast program, right?
Mhm.
I mean not podcast, YouTube partner program. There's over 1 million that's not there. And I know that some there's there out of those 1 million, there's some quality podcasts out there just like us. The only thing is they haven't been seen yet. And $1 million can blow them up in the marketing, as you guys said.
Mhm.
The question is, what else comes with that $1 million? Do you have to go on a tour, right? Think about I look at Jadakiss and Joe, their podcast. They started off in the studio, but now they're on Netflix as well. So they had to accept that deal that they offered them. But now they're touring, right? They're touring like if it's a rap concert, but it's not. They're doing podcasts on the go.
Yeah.
One day they're in New York, the next day they're in LA, the next day they're in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That money that comes with it is it's a job. It's
Yeah.
just $1 million contract job. It's not like, oh, I'm rich. Because you can't be rich with a job. You can be wealthy, but you can't be rich if you have a job. You can't because that money gets cut off once that employer ends your contract. And possibly sue you for not holding up your end of the bargain of the contract.
Yep.
Oh yeah, if they give you money up front.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they say you breached.
I don't know how those contracts work though, man. Any lawyers out there, chime in, man.
Yeah.
Let
The
us
lawyer
know.
chime in. But you know what? That's enough of that. You know what I'm saying? OG millennial. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Don't you tell us something.
Man, tell you what, man. Speaking of lawyers, y'all remember Jim Carrey in that movie Liar Liar when he played the lawyer, man? Oh,
I can't lie.
oh, man, so great, man.
We watched that so much growing up on VHS, mind you.
Right? That's the best, right? Dude, so
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, man, we got to talk a little bit about Jim Carrey because he's in the news, but we're going to spend more time in the past than we are right here in the present and what might be in the future, you know? So I personally have been doing some research on Jim Carrey lately because there's this huge imposter, uh, I guess, scheme that's be the best way to say it that's approaching right now. Like there's talked about Jim Carrey being at an award show in France, but it wasn't really Jim Carrey. It was somebody else who was wearing a mask of Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey is dead. It was the first
Oh,
story I heard, and then I started hearing other stories. Right, so I dug into it and found out that like Jim Carrey apparently went to France. He was honored with an award. He got up there and was had a bunch of like his face was off. Right, yeah, his face looked like it was a different face.
wait a minute. His face was
But
up.
yeah, and if you've seen any of it over the internet, you've seen like some pictures that seem more dramatic than others, right?
Right.
And so I did some researching and stuff and listening to some people, and I found out that it was a filter. Like a lot of the pictures that are being out there that look so off were because of the way the filter was set on the picture itself. Uh,
Right.
when I looked at the actual speech that he gave on stage, like he looked a little off, but you could still see it in his eyes that it was him, right? Like I could tell that it was him. Some of the mannerisms that he was using reminded me of younger Jim Carrey, right? He released
Yeah.
a statement a few days afterwards, saying that he was glad that he was able to get some of the people talking, right? Because, but that it really was him, you know. And but I got a little bit more information on that, man. But have you guys heard what you guys heard about that? You guys seen anything in the internet about this imposter?
I saw
The
something.
imposter's name, there was a guy. I'm sorry, hold on. I'll give you some help. The imposter's name, who's taking credit for this, his name is Alexis Stone. He's a makeup artist and claims to be the one who had made the mask of Jim Carrey, and it was him who was at the award show that night, not Jim Carrey himself.
Bobby, you want to take the reins on this one?
You really want me to?
No, I got some. I got some feedback. I'm just saying because I did some research on it.
You know, it's funny. It's funny we're talking about this because like Jim Carrey literally played the lead role in a movie, The Mask.
Yes,
We watched a lot of.
Mhm.
I was just about to say that. I was like,
Because we watched that movie so much growing up.
right.
Anyways, Jim Carrey and Robin Williams are going to be my top two favorite comedians. So when we talked about kind of discussing this topic, I was like, oh, let me at him. And then I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to be a little bit more reserved in my commentary. I'll save my, where's my tinfoil hat? No, it's kidding. I'm always wearing it. What am I talking about? I live with a tinfoil hat on, you guys. So Jim Carrey, I was noticing a couple of things about him. Looks like he got some serious Botox. Does not look very good. I've seen some older stuff of him, maybe within the last few years. I know that at some point he had done an interview where he had talked about him converting to Christianity.
No,
Um,
Gnosticism. He's a
a Gnostic,
Gnostic.
yeah, and I was like, some of the stuff he was saying now maybe what the interviewer thought he had turned to Christianity, but I was listening to some of it and I was like, no, it's more of a spiritual thing. It
That's
was,
Gnostic.
yeah, I was like, I wouldn't consider that Christianity, but I noticed there was a difference in his eyes and obviously his cheeks and stuff. I know that sometimes as these actors tend to get older, they will try to do things just like females do to kind of appear younger. If
Right.
it was him, um, that's great. Uh, I don't know. I was listening to somebody else. They were like, I think he's a clone. I don't know how that would happen,
The
but
clone.
I do believe that there are some people that are willing to go to great lengths to hide things. Let's just say that.
Mhm. What about you, Corey? What are your thoughts, man?
Well, here's the thing. I had a lot of thoughts, right? Because let's look at it. Jim Carrey, and I looked at the pictures, and there were even some other pods talking about how the indentions between his eyes are different on this film and then on this one. Look, when you got Jim Carrey money, you can afford Jim Carrey Botox, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if the man found a time machine and paid $20 million just to go back in time to send the old Jim Carrey from In Living Color and Liar, Liar, Liar to come forward and do his interview.
No, we're gonna talk about that generation too, man. But yeah,
just promote a movie that he got coming up. Me personally, I was like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy Jim Carrey is back into the media because about what is it like 6-7 months ago when he had that beard, he had like this long beard, like I was like, oh man, and then
he's looking real scruffy,
and he did Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, one of the Jimmys, when he was like, man, first I want to thank Jimmy Kimmel for giving me that opportunity. I'm not Jimmy Kimmel, Jim Carrey for giving me this opportunity. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up, that's Jim Carrey talking. And then the crowd had a nice little reaction. But if you think about it, Bobby, you made a good point. And I've seen it in movies, but art depict life a lot. That there are clones out there for specific reasons. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I think we have presidential clones all the way to superstar clones. Why? Because they want to protect the real people, right?
there
I
it
would
is.
be surprised if he came out with a movie about politics and they were like, you know what, let's go ahead and let the clone do his thing. And then the movie comes out and we see Jim Carrey in 4 different stages with the rough beard, and then as the clone of the movie inside. Look, I got so many. Look, I am a theorist, okay? Just like my sis Bobby said, putting on the silver hat, you know what I'm saying? You know why they say that, right? So the antenna away from the TV won't cause your brain cancer. But we know that because 70, 80 years, we're still here. So that's all I got to say about all that, brother.
I don't think he was a clone, man. I don't think this Jim Carrey was a clone at all. And I listened to a plastic surgeon named Dr. Yoon. And I actually heard it off of Jamal, aka Jamal's podcast. He had one of those little videos of Dr. Yoon, who is a podcaster also, who's given like the breakdown on all the surgeries that he believed Jim Carrey had based off of the picture that was presented before him. And he pointed out 6 to 8 different type of surgeries, facial surgeries alone that he believes he had, including, like you said, Bobby Botox. He had the Botox there. He mentioned something about having like an eye, like an eyebrow raise. Yeah. He had his cheeks filled with fat. And then there was like a whole bunch. There's like 6 or 7 things that he pointed out, man. And I was like, damn, right? Like if this guy's, then he was like, in the end, he believed that it was really him. And my original reaction, based off of looking at Jim Carrey's actually speaking when he was receiving the award, was just confirmed by what that doctor had said, that he believed it was him too. So I believe it was really Jim Carrey. I think it's like some of you guys said, it's a lot of work that he's had, like a lot of these superstars are doing to try and maintain their age. Why they're doing it, I have no idea. But maybe it's because they're not being remembered for their greatness. Well, I don't think that's what Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey is a legend. And here are a bunch of reasons why. It's not just In Living Color, man, like where I first personally saw Jim Carrey, but it's in the tens of 20s of movies that he's made through the course of my life. That single one of them was a banger, right? And it's funny because I was in the car with Lauren, we were driving out, and we just started naming off like different movies just from like the 90s and 2000s that he was in. It started off with Liar Liar, and then we started thinking in the past like Ace Ventura 2, and then he was like the one where he was he was on the Ark, right? And then The Mask, and then it's just like, I don't know, what are some other movies, man? Help me out here. What are the other movies?
Me, Myself, and Irene, when he had the medical personal splits. Oh man, I think that was by far my favorite movie from Jim Carrey.
Ooh, he had that little sex toy, man.
He said, "Them kids."
That Renee Zellweger with her squish face. Squish face
we
Renee.
quote that movie a lot. We
Yeah.
quote myself and Irene a lot. But
Yeah.
I growing up for sure, Jim Carrey was most memorably. I told y'all we watched a lot of The Mask, but hands down, it's got to be Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah.
I love the way he walked, like his, Jim Carrey motions and his mannerisms and stuff. And I
Yeah.
always felt like if I
Hmm.
ever met him, he would be. I want to believe he would be silly like that. He
Yeah,
looked like he was a fun guy.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
he is a fun guy. Heck yeah, he gives that
But
impression every time he's in the public eye.
Yeah. And so that I hope he's like that. But remember, Robin Williams was the same way.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about like this? All right, we did some movies, man. Let's go to the show, man. You guys remember the show in Living Color back in the day, right?
Of course.
What about you,
Fair-
Bobby? Were you alive when In Living Color was still out?
yes, I was alive.
All right, just making sure. We had so many different characters that he played alone in just that show, man. For me, the best one he did was when he played Vanilla Ice, man, and he went out there and he kicked it, and that shoe fucking
yeah.
flew off, man. As was so ever since then, man. Ever since then.
My
What about you
favorite.
Oh
guys,
my
man? You
god.
guys got a specific character, man? He played some of the cop, the fire marshal,
Fire Marshal Bill. Fire
the
Marshal
freaking
Bill.
weightlifter lady. Oh, so many. Go ahead, Corey. You were saying, man. Tell me about Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill. Like it was funny because he would just walk around, you know what I'm saying? He'd be like, this how you put out a fire. Huh. You got to roll. And then he'll be burnt. And he's like, he just have all these mannerisms, bro. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? That's one that was one of the best shows ever. And number two, that was my favorite character because it was like you were learning, but you were laughing. And you were learning what not to do.
Hmm.
What was yours, Bobby? What was your favorite character from In Living Color?
I didn't have one.
Uh,
No.
I didn't have a favorite one. Like I said, we had like Jim Carrey is just so iconic from the '90s because they even had like spin-offs of other things. Like they did the Dumb and Dumber,
yeah. Oh,
and then you know what I mean, Dumb and Dumber, and like
yes.
it's so funny. And then of course he played one of the most iconic Christmas characters too, the Grinch.
Oh,
Like a
the
lot of people
Grinch.
forget that he played he played the Grinch and How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 2000, I believe. And that's still hands down. That's one movie I have to watch every year, like at least twice. I love the Grinch
Mhm.
and just all his mannerisms. Nobody's been able to top that character since.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree, man. I haven't seen his most recent one. I guess he did. His most recent one was oh man, it's leaving my head right now. It's Sonic. There it is. Sonic the
yeah,
Hedgehog
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yep,
Yeah. Yeah. Dr.
That was a
yeah,
good one.
Dr. Robotnik.
So I guess just to close out this moment right here, right? I think this was a good flashback. Jim
Yeah.
Carrey's definitely a legend in the game, in the entertainment game. And he made his foundation starting with the millennials in the world.
Yep. Yep.
And we will be the ones who will carry on that legacy. It's up to us to continue playing these Jim Carrey movies so that the
Mhm.
next generation could watch Jim Carrey and keep these movie names alive, man. Everyone was a banger in my book. Everyone.
Everyone. And this is the time we want to tell you guys. Look, if you like what you're hearing and you like what you're doing while you're doing it when you're listening to us, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in every Monday. We always giving you news.
That you can use.
Yeah. Now, Bobby, come on, talk to us. Where we going with this one? I know. You know what we doing next.
So listen, we're gonna try to still keep it in the entertainment section, but we're gonna switch it on over to some parenting. And one of the things I was looking at was, you ever wonder like how movie stars parent their kids? Y'all wonder?
All the time.
Yeah.
I do too.
Nice.
And so I was looking at, somebody who's very iconic himself from the '90s. Millennials know him very well. And that's Will Smith, right?
Big
So Will
Willie.
Smith, Big Willie, he's over there getting jiggy with it. He's married to Jada Pinkett Smith, and he's got 3 kids. So we all know him, right? So we got Jaden and Willow. He has them with Jada, and then he has a son named Trey that he has with his ex-wife. And so I always wonder, when kids are growing up in the spotlight, how do you parent that? You know,
Mm.
how do you still provide guidance and discipline while also trying to maintain structure when your life is probably hectic, you know, and I imagine that's difficult. And so doing some research, I was looking into how Will Smith said that he parented, and basically they encourage what they would call radical honesty.
Mm.
What's that about?
And so radical honesty is basically if they tell the truth, they're not going to get in trouble. But Will had done a couple of interviews where he was like, I don't, I wouldn't recommend that at all. You know, basically allowing whatever happens to them happen to them. You know what I mean? Those consequences for those decisions and stuff. But um, you know, that don't work for everybody. I think, you know, some people who've had a maybe a harder, more strict upbringing try to be give their kids a little bit more freedom. I
Right.
understand. I think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting your kids to kind of experience that freedom, but to what extent? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like if I told my kid they were never going to get in trouble as long as they told the truth, I'm like, no, you just crashed what car? Like, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some consequences. I don't see how that's beneficial. And so, if you're listening to this right now, and maybe you know somebody like this, definitely chime in, give us a comment. Let us know what you think. Donald, we'll start with you. What do you think about Will Smith's parenting, man?
Well, he's a sensitive man. He's in touch with his sensitive side, so he has an opportunity to see the sensitive side of a man. I think that he has set an example on perseverance, how to not give up on your quest for whatever it is you want to achieve. But because of the lifestyle of the rich and famous, uh, he's been in the spotlight. This kid's been in the spotlight for a long time now. And what I see of his kids is normally weird. It's weirdness. Like it's something to be dressed. In my personal opinion, his fashion sense is not my fashion sense. So a lot of the stuff that he chooses to wear, like, is like I look at it like, what the hell is he wearing, man? But I've heard some of his stories. He shared a little bit about the tunnels, and what it was like in the, going through those tunnels over there in LA. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but I mean, he seems like a kid who's seen a lot, having his whole entire life being in Hollywood. And so,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they control that. I assume they probably have other people who are doing most of their teaching to the kids. I don't know. They got nannies that be teaching their kids and shit nowadays. Well, maybe not the movie stars, but like I clean a lot of high end, rich people's houses, and I don't know, man. I think that they ain't doing too much teaching. They always got a lot of help. It's a lot
Mm.
of help around that property, man.
I think he was saying like pretty much too much freedom can be harmful. Too much freedom, allowing other people to be around you and in your space and raise your kids when you're the one who's supposed to be doing that. You know what I mean? If you're called to be those child's parents, then you should be stepping in to take on that parental role, because I think if you do give your kids a little bit too much freedom, that's going to give somebody else the opportunity to step in and try to be the parent and to play that role, especially if that child's in a vulnerable state. And that
You
could
got to
lead
go to Miami though and film
to
Bad
very
Boys 5.
situations. That's a good one. No, we were making fun of our kids last night because we were like, "It's the Men in Black." Like they were like, "What's the Men in Black?" And I told my husband, "We clearly failed." Next,
uh,
next family movie night, we're all watching Men in Black. They didn't understand what we were talking about. And I was like, "Oh man." I remember watching that on VHS in my dad's room. And as soon as it finished, if you like skip through the credits, they did Tommy Lee and Will Smith had their own Men in Black like song, but with the dance moves. I sit there and rewound it so many times. It's the men in. It's the men in. Like
You know what? I did
this.
not know that was there. I gotta go back and watch the movie just for that part. I did
you
not.
know,
I love watching the music video.
I wonder if his kids respect him though after the whole red table incident with his when their mom went and dropped all that dirt and secrets about how she was sleeping with her son's friends and whatnot. Like, do you think
Well,
that might have some effect on the way his kids look at him? Like,
well, I read.
you think they respect him?
I do not like Jada. I don't like her at all.
Like if
at
that were
all,
my
man.
dad,
Nope.
I'd have a hard time respecting him as my dad here and that. Like, and then
Uh,
I don't know. Well, I don't
well,
know. I don't have a daddy though. So
so
what is it
let
like,
me,
Corey? Tell me.
because I read his book and he addressed it. I read Will Smith's book and he addressed the fact of the red table situation. Um,
Oh,
to,
speak on it, man, because I don't know too much about it.
but I mean, all I can say is, as far as Will Smith upbringing, remember the. I mean, we all have taken remnants of our childhood and implement them in our history of parenting, right?
Mhm.
His father was one of the men that were. I believe he was like an ice sculptor back in his day, and he had like I think he said a sixth
Education.
grade education, but he was always like the provider, the hard worker. And every summer, Will and his big brother always worked in the same field as the father. And Will had this real big, honorable respect for his father, um, all the way into the end of his father's passing.
Mhm.
And I remember him saying because that was an audible book, but it it brought it to me. He wanted to make sure that his kids understood the discipline of success that he had, but not to the point where it's like, there's no consequences. Because on if you look at Will Smith, we know Will Smith to be Mr. Hollywood. All right. Every summer,
Mhm.
right? That takes dedication and discipline in your lifestyle mindset. And also, you had to incorporate that into your children because they're going to see it whether you tell them or not. Kids
Mhm.
learn by visual and audible. You know what I mean? And so, as far as Jaden, let's look at he dressed a little funny and did things like that, but he also opened up a homeless food restaurant where pay what you can, but all the homeless can eat for free. You know what I'm saying? He had a heart. He has a heart for the less fortunate. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Those things don't get highlighted, but if you're in the communities where you're giving back, you see that he's like silent donors and things like that of his money, right? He
Mhm.
put out music. And I just think I wouldn't say it's a disconnect from our generation to their. His is just different. But I can see the philanthropist in him that his
Yeah.
father and probably his mother as well, because although we may not like Jada, but Jada did give women I would say, a chance to express themselves on an open platform from Facebook. And if she was able to do that, somebody may have taken that idea and say, you know what, I can do the same thing on YouTube. And now you
Hmm.
see women bringing up their own podcasts, right? They don't call it Red Table, but it probably was inspired by that because
Yeah.
she has a big inspiration and she has a big voice. So I always look at the good in what they have put into the world, and the bad that I don't see, it's not my business.
Mhm.
Good point, man. Good point.
It's
Yeah, I
interesting
ain't
though,
got
right?
no
Just like
disrespect for him.
with probably a lot of people that we don't see. There probably is a lot of I do know for a fact that Jaden does a lot of philanthropy stuff. I have seen some of his videos where he is the one stepping up, trying to use his own resources and stuff to fix a problem that he sees. So he's trying to bring a solution to the table. So definitely hats off to Jaden Smith for doing that because he didn't just talk about it; he put some action behind those words, right? And
Yep.
I want to believe that children are often a reflection of their parents, whether that be good or bad. So regardless of what I think about Jada, maybe she did instill in him, hey son, there's some good to be done in the world, and I think that you should take your resources. Both her and Will have encouraged that or instilled that in him to want to make a difference in their community.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is awesome and amazing. You know, the fact that people have money and resources and willing to do for those that can't do nothing for them. I don't care what anybody say. That is good, genuine business, whatever you want to call it. I got stuck on the words. I'm called business.
Mm-hmm.
Right on, right on. But What else we got on this? Bobby, talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Because I think these. What are some SSS we could take from this? What were some SSS that you think that Jaden, along with Will and Jada, can probably take from these things? Even though I know you may not like Jada, but out of that, I think there's some S's we can find in there.
I don't like Jada for my own values. I think she's
Okay.
very disrespectful to her husband, bringing him on there and in my opinion, humiliating him and embarrassing him. And as a wife, we're not meant to do that.
Right.
If you have an
Right.
issue with your husband, you don't take it to a spotlight. Absolutely not.
Right.
That should be between him, her, and a therapist. You know what I mean?
Do that.
Maybe as a wife, I don't respect that. But so what do y'all think though? Like both of Will Smith's children, both Jada and Willow, both did music, right? They both have their own sets. I think I saw Willow was like 24. I didn't realize she was already that much older. I thought she was like already in her maybe like super late teens, but no, she's like 24 now.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think their upbringing is going to inspire them to be parents to their own children should that time come?
Me,
Well, you got me on that one.
I would say this. You know how some parents, some kids don't follow in their parents' footsteps because they know the behind the scenes. I think that's what will happen. I
Mhm.
think that when they get to of age and have children of their own, and they have experienced the entertainment business, and then they seen what the entertainment business did to their father. So they're like, I'm not going to pass the same seed down to my children, so they can experience a lavish life. I want them to have a normal life, right? But the question is, if you never had a normal life, how do you know how to have a normal life?
I was about to say I don't think they honestly don't know what a normal life looks like,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's a and that that's kind of a shame, right? Because whenever you see kids growing up like they're like, man, they probably never got to go over to their friend's house and just ride their bikes till it got dark and had to wait for a parent to whistle so that you can come back to the house. Like they've missed out on some of those very prime childhood experiences.
Not
And
necessarily. They're just doing it to the next level with the other rich kids in the neighborhood, man. It's just the stuff that they're doing gets upped
Mhm.
to level 10, like, yeah, we're out riding bikes. They're out riding go-karts, like he got his little entourage of young kids that he's grew up in the industry with. There's a whole prodigy of this generation of, you
Mhm.
know, the superstars, whether they're sports or entertainment, man. They're all around the same age. They're still going to the same parties their parents was going to, and they'll have the invites when they're older and their kids are alive. But does Gen Z even want to have kids? Like, are they even putting out kids? Like, is the message start a family for Generation Z? Start a family and have babies?
Oh
I
gosh.
don't think so.
Probably not.
I
Creative
don't
native.
know though.
That's a good comment. You know what I mean? If that's even if they decide to have a family.
Right.
Um,
He also put out this. He said, "Our generation smoke trees. They generation sniff leaves." You know what I'm saying?
What
I
up,
don't know
native?
for you. What up, creative native? You know what I'm saying? Just chiming in for chiming in, brother. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
appreciate it. Appreciate the feedback. I do like it.
But since we were, what I'm saying, we went to Hollywood. I want to talk a little bit about Pocketwood.
Hmm.
And Pocketwood is something different, but you guys are gonna see it soon. There's this new wave of entertainment called vertical dramas, right? And they are the new way film is moving to. In China right now, it's an $8 billion industry where all the movies and videos are being made vertical. And not only that, it's almost like a gimme catch, right? You know how you watch a movie, right? You get you see a trailer. The trailer inspires you to go see the movie, right? So
Right?
the vertical drama is a bit different. These are 1 to 3 minute episodes. However, they're mainly just to catch you, hook you, right? So after the first and second episode, because there's a series of it. After the second one, right at the cliff, the screen pause, and it says to proceed, pay 99 cents. And then it's like, wait, what? I mean, you mean to tell me I can't find out if Jim is going to be dead, although he got shot and they took him to the ambulance and the heart monitor stopped?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then I gotta pay $9.90. I gotta pay 99 cents. So you pay that 99 cents, and then now you're like, oh my God, great, this is awesome. So Jim didn't die. The police end up catching the guy who shot him, and then now they turn around and take the mask off, and it's Jim's pause. Pay 99 cents to unlock the whole season. And
Yeah.
it's like, wait, hold on. But it's getting to the point where major studios are investing, Sony, Paramount, all these other studios are already invested in vertical dramas. And the good thing about it is these dramas can be filmed on our handy dandy phones. So imagine taking one of your phones with the best camera there is and filming some content, and you have a great story, great plot. People will pay. So now you're just monetizing a platform with the thing you love to do without having to go take a big budget for $1 million from a studio head. What do you guys feel about that?
Bobby.
You know, I think that whenever it comes to like the vertical dramas, right? I get them. They're very eye-catching, but they're using like what? Not even B actors, they're using like C actors, right? They're using people that you've never heard of.
Right now.
Okay.
Think about the podcast. Before big names got into space, it was just us. We was doing this. But then all of a sudden, you get a celebrity who joins into the podcast space. Now all his followers go over there. It's the same thing with acting.
You know what? I've noticed that on some of the Darman videos. On my daughter likes watching Darman. She likes all the different, you know, it's a drama, but there's like a piece of there's a storyline to it that also has a piece of truth, right? And so you notice in a lot of his videos, he uses a lot of the same actors, but then every once in a while he'll bring on a celebrity actor. Those Darman videos seem to get more attention because they were affiliated with the celebrity and stuff. So do you see these vertical dramas kind of going in that arena where, you know, they're using a lot of the same actors for different things, and then you know, it's very eye-catching. Plus, you're only paying 99 cents to see the rest of it, right?
To unlock a few episodes, or $2.99 to unlock an entire series. And a series is anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. You see what I'm saying?
I've been able. I didn't realize that that's what they were called. I've been able to get past that. I found a website that once I watched that first 3 or 4 minutes of it, if I'm like, oh, it seems like a pretty good story, if it was catching enough to me, I'll go and search for it over here, and I'll find it and finish watching the whole thing.
Hey, look, that of course there's gonna be loopholes, of course. But the thing I'm more intrigued about it because I went to a film festival workshop, and this was what the workshop was all about. It wasn't about like, oh, such and such is coming out with a new movie. Oh, these new movies, submit your movie. No, it was about vertical dramas. And by being those type of films, this is what's coming. Because who would think 10 years ago we would be watching TV on our phones? What? Netflix started off with disc. Now there's a subscription right from your phone. So what's your take on it, Don? Talk to me.
I'm still kind of unfamiliar with this content that you're talking about. I don't know if I've actually seen any content that you're talking about. Like, I'm familiar with the 3-minute shorts that I see like on streaming services, but those are like just people's pages and them talking for 3 minutes randomly about shit. It's not like actors or
No, these are actually like movies. I downloaded an
oh,
app called Real Short,
Real short.
mhm.
REEL, so Real Short, and they have different types of these dramas on there. And so you could watch maybe like the first 11 minutes or so of a drama, depending on how much they let you do that. And you really have to captivate the watcher's experience and get them hooked onto wanting to see the rest of it. And then if you like it, you end up having to either watch ads to unlock the next like 2 minutes. It gets
Mhm.
really stupid. Or if you constantly log in, you're able to claim coins. And so you're able to
Oh,
use those digital coins to pay for the rest of the movie. Or you can just like Corey was saying, you could, pay $7.99 and it's gonna unlock the last 19 episodes of it, and then
do
you
you have to
just
pay
watch.
monthly for the subscription itself and then pay an extra
No,
99 cents for each one?
no.
Oh,
No.
okay. So that seems better than Amazon because, like, right now, if I have Amazon, I'm paying Amazon monthly. Plus, if I want to watch something, I got to pay for it on Amazon as well. So you're saying it's not like that where I got to, like, I'm getting
Nah,
double charged?
you don't pay a monthly subscription for the platform yet,
Mhm.
because just to be in full transparency, if I was to do that, I make people pay. I make it free for like the first 5 years, make it super simple, just like Netflix did. I'll take the Netflix model. Real talk. Just go ahead and people sign up and then get CDs mailed out, DVDs. But in this case,
Hmm.
you go ahead and watch an ad, and then you get one video, watch an ad, get another video. But then once it grows, because it will grow, because ad drives data and data drives decisions, eventually they're going to be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's doing an interview over here. Jay-Z fan base flock over to, let's say, title stream on their phone,
Hmm.
right? Where you can only watch it here. And then
Mm.
they
Okay.
go ahead and pay, okay, well, I'll pay $9.99 for the first episode of Jay-Z's, not $9.99, I'll watch it for free, the first episode. But then when he gets off the cliffhanger talking about how he cheated on Beyonce and it paused, everybody was like, wait, I want to hear that story. All the beehive is going to go crazy. And then they're going to go ahead and say, so if you want to watch all of this, pay this $10 and you get the entire series. And then you get a whole hour episode interview of Jay-Z talking about his life, his wife, and his children.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is sounding more familiar now. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think I'm going to be a big fan of this, man.
right.
Yeah, and it's
I mean,
it's
if
not
it's the
it's not
way
for
that's what,
everybody.
yeah, like if this is the directions it's going, okay, I'll adapt and evolve. But like, I'm not a fan of it. I'm trying to save money. I'm not trying to spend more money. Like I'm
Yeah,
trying
Right.
to
I hear you.
budget.
But let me give you something that not everybody has privilege to this, but I do, and those who have a significant amount of followers on Instagram, you do as well. Instagram beta tested 20-minute reels because they know this was coming. So you can there's people out there that's right now filming content so you can watch full on episodes only on Instagram.
Hmm.
And that Instagram has a $1 billion user platform. And Facebook got 4 billion active users, not the little dormant accounts, active users. And Facebook is the parent company of Instagram. So once you see a company that big and constantly launching things out to grab people from just the mediocrity 15, 30-second post to 20 minutes, that's some money they had to put in. So that's an investment to get the data so they can be able to implement the same thing as well. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? TikTok has it where you can do 10 minutes, right? But unfortunately, TikTok is still one of the fastest growing platform. And based off of the direction it's going in now with the new ownership, it might not grow as fast as it did. And people may not be likely to put content there. However, the owner of TikTok is also the owner of Paramount, which if they buy Warner Brothers, which may possibly happen because Netflix backed out, that means
Yep.
you may see Warner Brother content on TikTok. So
That's
that
the
new
Ellis family, right?
right, the owners of Skydance, all of them. So
Yeah, they're buying everything right now,
so
man.
so
Holy.
imagine you see the Green Lantern the Green Lantern TV series that's about to come out on HBO, right?
Mhm.
Imagine they have a TikTok exclusive where you can watch it on TikTok with the extended version, like Zack Snyder, right?
Oh, okay.
You feel what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
the area of entertainment where we leading to, and I think maybe 5 months from now, when we start seeing all this vertical content, somebody's gonna come back to this channel and say, you know what, these guys were right.
That's right. Corey called it.
Mhm.
Corey calling it again. He's sending out
Mhm.
predictions, not spoilers. These are
Predictions.
Predictions, for real, for real. But yeah, so fun fact from you guys: what would you like to watch on your phone, and that you can't watch now, but that you would want to watch on your phone?
The Office. I recently canceled my Peacock subscription to try and cut back and save some money, so I don't get to watch The Office anymore. If I paid 99 cents to download each of the Office episodes to watch, I'd probably do that. Like, but I got to be able to save them to something and not pay 99 cents every single time I want to watch one episode of Dwight acting stupid, you know, like I don't want that.
Right, right. What about you, Bobby?
I feel like everything I do watch, I can watch on my phone. Doesn't mean that I do it. I honestly don't watch a lot of TV. I
Right.
wish I had time to, but I don't. So
No,
I
I
don't.
understand. Totally understand. You know what I would say? I'm gonna swing it back to where it all started. If Jim Carrey had a channel where all his movies and his IP was on, I would subscribe to that
I
and
would
watch
Yeah.
too.
every one of those. I would, out 99 cents to watch Me, Myself, and Irene, 99 cents to watch Liar Liar, 99 cents to watch Ace Ventura 1 and 2, 99 cents to watch, you know what I'm saying? The
I'll
Noah,
tell
what's
you,
the
right now
Noah?
it's $3.99. If you go to Amazon to watch any of the movies that he just listed off, $3.99 minimum, and that's just to rent it. It's a $3.99 rental because we went to try and watch Liar Liar the other day, and it was like the only way to watch it was on Amazon. Like you got to pay $3.99 to a service, and then I got Amazon, so I got to pay $3.99, on top of that, but I'm already paying. So fuck
Right.
that.
Extra beeps. Beep, 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 beep. But yeah, so wrapping up this episode, I just wanted to I wanted to give out us, give our team and you guys as well, not just news that you can use, but be, you know what I'm saying? Get some insight, right? You know what I'm saying? This insight that we're providing you, especially if one of you guys decide to become rich, famous actors, know how to raise your kids. Somebody come out there and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Netflix offered me $1 billion, like Don said, don't take it. Give me 10. And that's per year. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like Lil Sis said, put your tinfoil hat on when you watch TV. Because you
Don't
never
believe
know
it. Don't believe anything that you read, and only half of what you
what you
see.
see.
Mm.
Yeah. So Bobby, on this closeout, go ahead, tell the people where they can get and what they can get from you.
I'm gonna give you one last tidbit. So today is actually National Barbie Day. Today, Barbie came out March 9th, 1953.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
When did Ken come out?
Don't know because there ain't no National Ken Day. It is
I didn't say
Barbie
it.
Day.
You missed it. When did Ken come out?
Do y'all know who purchased Barbie
Mattel.
from a toy fair? Mattel.
Yes.
Mattel
There's a
purchased
Mattel
Barbie.
store down the street.
So when the original Barbie came out, she was worth $3,003.
Oh wow.
Now that original Barbie is worth over, I believe, $25,000.
Wow.
So I know that there's people that have like Barbie collections where nothing's opened, and so sometime later on they'll be able to sell, those very, very, collectibles to some folks with some big money, with some deep pockets.
I actually have a Ruth Gingrich Barbie. I have a Oprah Winfrey Barbie, and I have a Michelle Obama Barbie that I got. I don't know when I got it. I just saw it there when I was going to go shopping for my baby girl, because I take her to Mattel store every birthday and just have her just get this basket and fill it up. And then I tell her, okay, so now after she got like umpteen thousand Barbies in there, which one you want to keep and which one you want to let go? Because I'm not buying 40 Barbies. I mean, this
Ooh. So they're still making new Barbies?
oh yeah, and they
Oh,
have
okay.
the great thing about the Mattel store. They have
Mhm.
they're discounted. They're not the price that you will buy at Target. It's the price that you buy from Mattel. They
Yeah.
have the older models there too, so those are discounted. But it's a new Barbie doll, and my daughter does not care. She does not discriminate. Old, new, black, white. You know, they even have disability Barbie dolls and prosthetic Barbie dolls. So and we love it. We get a couple of those too, just because we all can get along.
That's right, we can. Because at the end of the day, kindness is a choice.
Yes, it is.
And if you can't find somebody, nobody's kind to you, you be kind to other people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounding like
Pat McAfee says, Pat McAfee says, say something nice, it might save someone's life.
It's true.
I love it.
It's true. Right.
So, Bob, tell us about the Bear County and what they do.
All right. Let me tell you. So I have a water mitigation company here in the San Antonio area. We service Bexar County, which is the primary county that San Antonio sits in, but along with Wilson County, Atascosa, Medina, out even towards the New Braunfels area. If you've got an issue, if you've got water damage to your home, give me a call. Our company is Patriot Restorations. You can find me on Instagram at bobby.lopez.5 or on Facebook at Bobby Lopez. You will see my cute face with a red dress. You know it's your girl. Hit me up.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Talking about water, let's swing it on over to the OG Millennial. Donald, tell us what you got for the people.
We got more Millennial Nation facts and hoopla, playing out to everybody who wants to listen. Anyways, you can follow me at O_G_Millennial on Instagram and Facebook. You can check out the new little podcast, I guess I'm trying to start off here at Millennial Nation Worldwide. We got some cool videos out there. We also do swimming pools, clean swimming pools and spas. You can go to OG and, this link right here, OG Millennial, and you could ask me some questions, or if you want to get some prices, I could give you some prices. But most importantly, go to YouTube, go to Technically Speaking, like and subscribe, and then go to Millennial Nation Worldwide, like and subscribe. We're going to grow this thing together, and you guys are going to come along for the ride. So thank you. Corey.
Awesome.
Let
And
me
thank
know,
you guys
man.
for joining. It's your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni. And if you're looking to start your podcast, looking to grow on social medias, or you're looking to go ahead and just get another stream of income, make sure you click in the link in the description. My stand store there will have a number of solutions for you. If you just want to just get some extra dollars in your pocket, I can make sure we get you on a 30-day campaign to get you some moolah. All right. With that being said, it's the main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Be safe. Be safe.